Dun 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 dun. We weigh 7.5 million. We weigh 7.5 million for a buyout. I mean, what are we doing? 7.5 million extra, I think it was, because it was somewhere around 15, right?
Yeah, 7.5 million more.
Hey, how many? What is that? Almost 500,000 a day that we could just almost 20 days left. Like, what are we doing?
Chris couldn't gut it.
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's a bunch of liars. They act. By the way, I don't put this on Trev. I actually don't put any of this on Trev. Someone's telling him to do certain things. Someone told him he couldn't fire him last year. This has nothing to do with Scott Frost as a human being. We're just going off of performance. Someone told him Kansas would have fired him. Kansas, one of the worst programs in the history of the history, out of a Power 5 school. They made it seem like it was all money. What they just told us is it's nothing about money. And then what the Nebraska fans now, they're trying to flip it and be like, yeah, I think this was a good decision. It's like, you guys are the people that say we can't pay all these buyouts.
How many fights did I get in last fall calling for Scott's head?
And everyone said we couldn't pay it.
Yeah, and everybody's like, we can't do this. We can't do this hire and fire every 3 and 4 years and just paying all these ridiculous buyouts. I said, okay, so you're just cool with just mediocrity and wasting a year then? You're
See,
good
that's
with
the
that?
thing. Slaw, what you said is
they are good now.
Wasting a year. If we paid this exact buyout last year and fired him, we're a year ahead. Now we're just waiting out this year. It sucks, but this year's an absolute waste of time.
Yeah,
it's a waste.
We were going to go straight into this topic. I thought we were going to do a little game review first.
I'm sorry. Like it's
got all my fucking notes planned over here.
Yeah. To talk about. We'll talk
we're
about the game
this.
after.
We're already on this.
So bothered that we are just wasting 7.5.
Yeah,
that's $1.5 million that you could pay extra for a 5-year contract. $1.5 million a year you could pay the next head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't have money, like all these Nebraska fans are saying, like, we don't have the money to do it. We already paid Bill Callahan. We already paid Pelini, Riley.
And we could pay them all 5 times over.
Yeah. And we could pay Saban's contract. I mean, Saban would never be enough of a moron to come here, but we could pay that, right? And this is just stupidity. If we didn't fire him at this price last year, why are we firing him right now? The structure of the contract. Okay, that's a lie. We
wanted to give
$1
him
million
more games. We're like, ooh, he's close to getting over the hump. Just 3 more games will get him over the hump.
He was not close to anything. Like everyone that said it. And the thing that's funny is when the defense plays bad, it's Chenander's fault. When the offense plays bad, it's Adrian Martinez's fault. No. Why aren't we blaming the players then right now on defense? They go straight to Chenander, but when it's offense, it's straight to Adrian Martinez. Clown world.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's
I think that's part of the quarterback world, you know.
Then why aren't we blaming the quarterbacks like now? We're not blaming Thompson.
Yeah, well, I can.
You can, but I'm saying for the most part, I mean, we have such a protected team in Nebraska because of our media.
Yeah, we do.
I have the last couple years since we've been potting, I have realized and understood even more how fake news we are here.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are told what they are, without a doubt, they are told what they're allowed to print and what they're not allowed to print.
Mm-hmm.
It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing because we're supposed to be a football state. It's the most embarrassing. If we're a football state, they should be able to say whatever the heck they want. This is embarrassing. Embarrassing.
So Sunday,
I would rather be a fan of the University of Kansas.
Sunday, I was at my boys' football game, and we've got a couple dudes that are pretty well connected in that organization. I'm one of those dudes that's connected in that organization, and
fair.
And there's a couple other ones. We were discussing it, and we were talking about the contract, the buyout, because unfortunately on game day, I couldn't even watch the game. I was at a rodeo with my family with zero reception, so I'm trying to refresh my phone all the time.
Nothing.
Well, I then went back and watched it when
Obviously.
I got home. But yeah, I'm getting texts like I told a couple guys, I'm like, hey, I'm at a rodeo. I'm not going to have reception, so send me updates on the game, and just the text will come through when I spike a little bar. And the updates I was getting, I'm just like, are you kidding me? This is so ridiculous right now. So fast forward to the next day, I'm at my kids' game, and me and some of the other coaches are talking about it, and obviously they're all peeved off now, and they're like, all right, talk to us about this buyout. How do we get this done? And I said, well, the way it's supposed to be done is we have to wait till October 1st now, because that's the bed we made. But I said, right now, like you're talking to me here, said things are about to get pretty dicey for Trev, and we're about to see how much control Trev actually has in this deal, because they restructured this. Trev was instructed to restructure this to keep him so that we could buy ourselves some more time to bail on this buyout. But I said, watch and wait for the media pressure and the fan pressure and just general pressure from around the country. The entire country that couldn't give two shits about Nebraska football, the pressure from them even was just like, guys, I don't even like Nebraska football, but what are y'all doing over there? Like, I was hearing so much of that. And I said, Trev is going to start feeling this heat. And the people that are actually in charge, if they decide to pull the trigger on this, that will tell you everything about how much control Trev actually has.
Zero.
And within 30 minutes, he was fired. I was just
Zero.
Like, oh my God.
Everyone thinks so. If they just gave the reins to Trev, I literally, and if they stop trying to get in the coach's ears, like, you know what I'm saying? The people that are in charge, if they just let the AD do what they're doing and the next head coach, we got a chance. But I am so worried they will screw it up.
I listened to every word of his press conference, Trev's, I mean, on Sunday. And God, my knee-jerk reaction was I was so pissed. It was so full of lies.
But he has to, man.
But he has to, because he has zero control.
He has zero say. Everyone wanted to blame Bill Moose. I thought that was a clown show. Bill Moose had no control. He had no say. He was a puppet. They said, you have to hire this guy and you have to hire this guy. And then you're just going to fall on the sword if we're wrong. That's what it is. It's crazy to be an AD or a head coach or whatever at a program like ours. You know what's the difference? Do you know what the Nebraska Cornhuskers program is, or all like athletic department? It's the San Diego Chargers. And you know what the Alabama Crimson Tide is? It's the New England Patriots. No one's telling Nick Saban what to do.
Mm-hmm.
No one's telling. Hey, what happened in San Diego? I know you didn't get to see Mike McCoy, what I feel like was at his best, because he was back. He was down in the year, what was it, 4 when you were there? He didn't have any say at all. Year 1, that guy had all the say in the world. Took us to the playoffs. We won a playoff game.
He had clout.
Yeah. Next thing you know,
and I blame him for losing the say.
No, you don't.
That's my argument to you in that deal.
But there's no argument, because think about this. Bo Pelini was a savage of a coach. What happened? He got beat down by not being able to have say and not being able to make choices. Bo Pelini was the best coach we've had in I don't know how long.
He refused to give up his
And that's what got him in trouble.
choices.
That's what got him in trouble.
And it got him fired. But he refused. He refused to give in, and ultimately it got him fired.
Yes,
but he's standing up for his
right.
principles.
Fair. But I'm saying it's
where
the
I
same,
blame Mike
same
McCoy
thing.
is
He didn't go down fighting.
Is he didn't stand on his own 2 feet.
That's fair. But what I'm saying is the organizations are the same.
Yeah,
it's the people up top controlling everyone down.
Tom Telesco's doing out there as the GM. He, you speak very highly of the guy, and honestly, he didn't really do me wrong.
He doesn't do a bad job, I think, of getting talent.
But he's not the real GM there.
Correct.
Right. And so, the saying, you die on your feet or you live on your knees. Well, I mean, McCoy's living on his knees, and Telesco's living on his knees. And ultimately what happens is you end up dying anyway.
Yeah. But it's so sad. And the sad thing is, the difference is like, this is the only thing in Nebraska. Whereas in California, there's other things like for fans. This is the only thing in Nebraska.
Yeah, right.
And we have fans that don't know what's going on.
Trev's world is completely different. He's an administrator. That is different than being a coach or a player.
No, but it's still they're doing his job. They're trying to make all the decisions.
Yes.
So it's the same.
I do think it
is
bullshit. But
it's terrible.
But Trev was hired knowing what that job was.
I don't know if he knew it was this crazy though.
Maybe not. Because
I mean, I honestly thought, like, and I believe this still to right now. If Trev gets to decide everything, I think he could hire a really good coach, and we have a chance. But that coach better be.
If Trev got to decide everything, then Scott would have been out of here last November.
Year. Yeah,
easy peasy. But instead, we do this.
But we get the Omaha, and then we get the Omaha World Herald, the Lincoln Journal-Star, Husker Online. Hey, make sure we write that we're close. 3-9's not close. 3-9's the farthest thing from close I've ever heard of.
Okay, for our fans listening that get tired of me dogging,
I'm tired of people saying that they're good.
The fans that are tired of me dogging on the team and going, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I will admit to you right now, I was wrong when we talked about in the spring our predictions for our record.
I was wrong too.
I was wrong.
I thought there was a chance we could get to 5 or 6.
I thought we could get to 5. I was wrong. We're getting 2.
I mean, and that's the funny thing is people.
I don't know where the 2 is. Bro, maybe Iowa right now.
No, they can't even beat Iowa. The thing is, what's mind-boggling though, is there's fans that said, no, you have to fire him now because what if they beat Oklahoma and Indiana? What?
Doesn't matter. He's still fired.
No, still, but no. They said, what if they beat Oklahoma and Indiana?
Neither of those are happening, but let's just go down that rabbit hole.
What if we even won? I don't even know how we're going to win one. And they're saying, like, what if they came out and played hard for that regime that they didn't play hard for the last 15 games? I mean, come on.
The last 4.5 years?
Like, come on. Like, do you have, like, see, that's the other thing.
But I don't even understand that point. They're saying, what if we beat Oklahoma?
Yes,
Oklahoma and Indiana.
We're 3-2. That's not good enough. You lost to Georgia Southern and almost lost to the North Dakota Not Real Peoples.
Yeah, then Scott's still fired is what happens. That's how that happens.
So I mean, bro,
he had to be 5-1.
The amount of prescription beer goggles that people got from the media, they really believe that we were a good team last year. Like,
we're the best 3-9 team in history.
Yeah. Guess what? Guess what? You're 3-9.
3-9 should mean your coach is fired and you start over. That's what that means.
The best 6-6 team in history isn't good enough. and we're bragging about the best 3-9. How low have we came? Like how low are we getting to where we're saying like, man, we could get to 6-6. That'd be a good year. All these
this
fans,
is what I would
like,
love.
They're like blinded.
Take it back to the old days. You have to have a winning record to go to a bowl. We got to win 7 to go to a bowl.
Back in the good days.
But now, I mean, because we have 300 bowl games, everybody that's 5 and 7 can go as long as your academics are good. So everybody who's 6-6 goes. It's like, no, you got to have 7. You got to be above 500 to go to a bowl. Because
above
really,
500, we're trying to get above 300, homie.
Really, for Nebraska, 500 is a travesty. 7 wins is gross. 8 wins is like bare minimum to exist. It's got to be 9 or more is what our standard is at Nebraska, and we haven't touched that since Pelini.
It's a joke show. It's the most embarrassing thing. Now, this is the other thing that I've heard for so long is people are like, yeah, but if we fire him, who would want to come here? I don't know. If you pay me $8 million, I'll come here.
People that want to come here now.
I don't want to coach. I'm not saying me. I'm saying like say a word of coach. If you said
apparently Ndamukong Suh threw his hat in the ring today.
Yeah.
My wife and I were talking about that. I said, 0 chance. This is a PR move on his end. I said, look, I have a great deal of respect for Suh as a player, but he would hate it.
I got you. I know what you're saying.
He would hate it being a coach.
Yeah, just like I would.
Yeah, and any one of us being a head coach of a supposed premier.
You got to go meet with all
team?
The people that are telling the AD what to do.
Yeah.
You got to go hang out and act like you're like friends with them.
What would be awesome is if Suh came in as our defensive line coach. That'd be sick.
That would be amazing, but he's not going to want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be a running backs coach. I wouldn't want to be a water boy. I wouldn't want to be anything that's involved in that.
Maybe what Suh was looking at it was like, if I could just go be their head coach for a couple of years and they pay me $15 million to fire me, yeah, I'll go get some of that.
Bro, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we say, hey, sign me up. Slaw and I are co-head coaches. We're co-head coaches, and our buyouts we'll make it 10 million each only.
I'd be okay with 10 million together. And then you can fire us after three games.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Give us that 10 milli buyout, and you know what's going to happen is all you have to do is make sure you lose close games. All right. That's actually going to be harder than you think because we have to go against everything we believe in. So everything we believe in is like details, like hard work, like mental toughness. Like that's going to be tough, but we'll find a way.
Yeah, dude.
We just have to ask them like, hey, what do we do? Like, how do we lose games that are close? And we just ask a couple of the players.
Right now, we're just so dumb as an organization. I mean,
we might be worse than the Chargers. Like they're doing good now, but I'm saying you know what I'm talking about. They still haven't made the playoffs for a while, but
yeah. So, I could even get behind that right now. I could even say that right now the Chargers organization is a better organization.
No, I agree. Right now they are, but I'm saying what we kind of experienced. That's kind of what I'm going on.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same players there. But what the
it's
Chargers
like the Cleveland
do,
Browns of old.
What the Chargers do is they do
the Jacksonville
shitty things.
Jaguars.
They do shitty things, but they hide it. Right now, we are Jacksonville. I mean, that's horrible.
It's almost like we're just like in a lower level rugby league.
We aren't even playing football.
We're
well, obviously, we're all watching the game. We are not playing football. It is disgusting.
It is. Honestly, I think there's some rugby teams that if they played football rules and like they didn't even have to wear shoulder pads or anything, I think they'd beat the brakes off us. They'd have bloody faces because we get hit with face masks, but they were actually tough. And it's like all they'd be doing is just running a freaking full line option.
I mean, I want to know what they're doing at practice down there because, look,
listening to music.
I've been down there. Like I played there. I went through a bad year when I was there.
Listen to some music. La-di-da-di-da.
So generally, I'd like to think that these players are still working hard because you've been on bad teams. I've been on bad teams. The players are still there working and trying to right the ship. The coaches are still there trying to right the ship. But when I watch the game, I'm just like, there's a regression happening week by week. And you know, I also heard the comment of well, our offense looked pretty good.
Yeah, we're playing against
no, it did not.
We're playing against a bunch of curtains. Like, you know, curtains, you put them on your windows. They can't move.
Yeah.
We played
our
North
offense
Dakota,
did not look good.
The Northwestern losers to Duke. And we played Georgia Southern. Northwestern are which we thought we were going to win, lost to Duke.
Mm-hmm. And Duke is in like the ACC or something, right? And they were
but they're barely in the ACC.
They were picked to finish like bottom 3.
Yeah.
So that's
sweet. That. And the ACC is not the Big Ten.
No.
And Northwestern was probably picked to finish about close to last.
I'd put the ACC up against the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah.
But the Big Ten's big boy ball.
So is the Sun Belt, I guess. I guess the Sun Belt's like, what are we doing? I'll tell you what. I thought we were playing Bryce Young in Alabama.
Yeah. Are we getting into the game now?
Go ahead. I am so annoyed. Like, you know that I've been annoyed with Nebraska. Like, love you guys, love you listeners, with Nebraska fans and just like the understanding. Everyone, I'm going to get just beat for this. Everyone always says we have the smartest fans in the country. What's the scale?
I mean, yeah, compared to who?
What's the scale? Because we're even a bunch of lies.
I think we're smarter than probably Texas fans. Hook 'em horns, you know.
I don't.
I will say I watched every bit of that game.
Yeah, but that's a stretch.
The Alabama Texas game. That was a football game right there.
Yeah, Texas knows how to play football. We don't.
That was a football game, but I just get so irritated looking at their fans. All the fans in the stand, the amount of fans in the stands that were flipping off players on the field. I'm just like, what are you guys doing?
I agree.
And then all the hook 'em horn stuff going on, and you got Matthew McConaughey talking all this.
So do you think we have the smartest fans in the country? I mean, I'm a fan.
No, I'm just putting them up against Texas fans.
Well, that's unfair. I'm just saying, like, to think that he needed. I still, like, we were nice about it. We were incredibly nice about it. But for people to think that he deserved another year, I don't like. What were they slipping in your drink? I mean, it sounds like a tasty drink, but what were they slipping in your drink? I've had people saying, "Yeah, I think we're going 8-4 this year."
Last year, when I was heated up,
who are we playing? Are we playing Slosson's team? His team of 5th graders?
I tell you what,
6th graders.
My boys will tackle. I'll tell you that,
and they'll probably punch too.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the game.
Yeah. Okay. To the game.
This is crippling.
I made my list again. Positives and negatives.
What are the positives?
Okay. Let's do
what we have guys that have legs.
I have some positives here. Okay. I will say, first positive, and I'm not reaching at all here. This is legit.
Like a reach.
Our alternate uniforms were pretty sick.
Okay, that's not a reach. I loved the alternate uniforms.
They were pretty sick with the old school jersey numbers.
Hey, Pappy, can you put these down, the positives, just so we know what they are? Number one, nails jerseys.
Nails
Jerseys are sick. Oh my gosh. Slaw, you came to play today.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's true. I just didn't expect the nails jerseys out of you. Go ahead.
Yep. So that wasn't a reach. Those were nice.
Can I give a positive? Since I think
for sure.
And I didn't notice this the week prior. But I honestly, like, truthfully, the goalposts, the padding that they had on the goalpost, I thought it looked good. Like it was
new pads. Yep.
In alignment too.
Yep. Well, they got all this money apparently to.
Yeah. So they got new field goalpost padding.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're number two.
Yeah. So the next one was shout out to my guy Jay Terry, head equipment manager at Nebraska. I saw him on the sideline, so that made me happy.
And their hoodies, the coaches' hoodies, nails.
Yeah, they were sweet.
So we do have 3 positives so far. Keep going.
If you notice on the top of Scott's headset, it was Acres John Deere Farm Equipment. That was the sponsor of the headsets. So that's dope.
That is kind of sick. If you think about it, like they're repping our state.
Now that I'm thinking about it, we have way more positives this week.
This was a big week actually for our team. Did you have any?
There was one last positive, and I don't like doing this. Makes me feel bad about myself to do this. But when our left tackle Prohaska got hurt. I don't know how the fuck to say his name. I don't think he knows how to say his name.
I know where this is going though.
At the end of the game, he got hurt.
I don't know if he knows how to say his name.
He doesn't know how to do anything else, so I don't know.
He's tall.
He got hurt. And when his backup came in, his backup was way better than him.
I knew you were going to do this. Why did I know you were going to? Probably because it happened.
Because it happened.
Yeah.
This guy came in. Don't know who he is. His number was like 78 or something. 78 or 79. I don't know.
It does make you like sketched out that it's like before the NIL did he get paid a lot of money that he could rat out the coaches for them.
I don't know, but I'm watching this left tackle set and punch. That's what I'm watching him doing. So something to build on. So
we had 5 positives. Like that was actually a pretty good game if you think about it. Not a lot related to the game, but it was at the game.
I don't know if you can see my notes for the negatives, but it literally says everything else is negative. Starting with the O-line and the D-line, okay? We are so much bigger and stronger as human beings than Georgia Southern's defensive front. And they were jacking us up, stalemates across the board the entire game. Okay, now I'll say Grant ripped off a couple, but it's the same shit as last week. He was having.
Can I say this? And this is not putting him down because I think he's a pretty good back. But like, we should rip off a couple against Georgia Southern, North
100%.
Dakota, Northwestern. We should. Like, if we don't, we have bigger problems than we even thought, and we thought there were big problems.
Woody, you're in like your 60s now. You could go out there. You could strap it up like tonight, like right now. I could say, "Hey, come and play in the game," and you grab your shoulder pads. And
I mean, I'd have to do a couple like calisthenics.
Yeah, calisthenics, and you go rip off a couple. Shoot, if you give me a play, I might rip off one. Who knows? Who knows?
We might get tired. We could get a little tired. Like,
but that's
saying,
why you have oxygen tanks.
One play. Oxygen, yeah. And we might break, but you could rip it off.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Like, we towered above these dudes. We're so much bigger. I've watched these kids lift weights. They're stronger than piss, and they run hard. And then I watch them in the game, and they go into sludge mode. And we're just getting jacked up on the line. Nobody can get any push anywhere. The only run production we can get is when we scheme it up to be quarterback runs where we have an extra blocker and our offensive line is still stuck on the line and we're having to do these crisscross traps to get any hole. That's embarrassing to me. Very embarrassing to me. On the defensive line side, same exact deal. Their offensive line look like blueberries on toothpicks. That's how they're built. They all appeared to me to be like 5'11", 290 pounds.
At
these
the
little
biggest.
with these little basketball player legs. And our defensive line can't get any pocket push at all. And then I start breaking them down technically. Like when I played, what would give me fits? What would make things difficult for me? None of our guys are doing any of that. They're firing off the ball with their head down. They go bent arms right into the guy's chest.
And it's a bear hug.
And then the guy just grabs you and you can't do anything. Where is the butt and the press extension so you can see, and then you shed a block and go? We're doing no button press and extension, none. And that's what deep defense is. If you play in the box, whether you're defensive line or linebackers, all you do butt press shed every play. We are doing zero of that.
Bro, you know what's crazy is like, obviously not going to happen. How I would love, I would not love to be the coach. Okay. I would not love to coach full time, but I would love to just have like a week or two and go in there and we're in control of everything. Someone asked a question on Twitter. They said, what would you do if you were the head coach right now? I'll tell you what I'd do is I'd reset the culture, and it wouldn't take 5 years. Resetting the culture does not take 5 years. And what do I mean by resetting the culture is I'm going to go in. We are going to have rules. We are going to have standards. We are going to have expectations. And if you don't meet any of those, you're on the bench. You're on the bench. You're not playing. I don't want you to play.
Yep.
No chance. I do not want you to play. And I will, and the thing is, I'll go put a guy that's much worse of an athlete, and he will get in there and he will do his best. And I'm going to take every L right now if I have to, because I'm going to set a culture that every single person knows what the standards are. See, that's the problem that we didn't do. What did PJ Fleck do? He had a whole world of suck for a year. Why? Because he set the culture. He set the culture, and he got people that believed in what he did. And they went by the standards. Were there people that got kicked off the team because they were doing stuff that he said no to? Yes, that happened. That definitely happened. But guess what?
That's supposed to happen.
He set the culture. He set the culture. That's what you have to do.
Minnesota wins 8, 9, 10 games every year.
And it's everyone's like, oh, but he's so annoying. I'll take an annoying winner right now.
Give me annoying.
Give me the most,
as long as it isn't Urban Meyer. Give me annoying.
Give me the most annoying coach in the country. But if he wins, I'll take him. I'm tired of people saying that. Slaw. Like, I'm not saying like he would be my first pick as someone that's like rah, like he might get annoying or whatever. Like if I'm a player, I don't know. But like, the dude wins. He has reset a culture. Everyone's like, oh, are you kidding me? And then I go, what's his record? And they go, well, you got a point. Well, yeah, I have a point because it's wins and losses. Yeah. Wins and losses speak. I don't care if he has stupid mantras, stupid little sayings. Yeah. His stupid little sayings are getting him somewhere.
Row the boat is so dumb. But guess what? It works.
The dumbest. But guess what? Works. He knows how to win games.
Yeah. Let's say right now.
Hey, let's row some sort of boat and try to win a game.
Tonight, if Fleck is up in Minnesota and he gets into a confrontation with the athletic director or the chancellor of the university or something, gets in a fight and he punched him in the face and they said, you're fired.
We better hire him so
Guess
fast.
What? He needs to be our number one target.
Yes. And I don't care how annoying he is. And
I don't care who else is available. It's
all
him.
all these fans that say, yeah, but I don't like, he's too energetic. Have you seen him sprint down the field in the fourth quarter? You probably have a problem because you obviously don't like winning.
You know what else bothers me? He makes every senior player a captain on that team. So they're rolling around with 20 captains on the field. That bothers me, but I don't care.
But
because it works.
It's worked. Like, is that what we would do as coaches? No, heck no. But guess what? It works. And everyone that's saying, "Oh, it's corny," I take a corny.
We're the Corn Huskers. Bring on corny. Let's go.
Yeah, bring it on. Like, so all these people that have great ideas. Come on. Those are the same people that had a great idea to just continue to lose and be like, no, we need to keep him around. He hasn't gotten a chance. It's Mike Riley's fault. It's year 5. No one in that organization even knew Mike Riley. This is clown world.
Yeah.
With a capital C.
Well, I don't know if you watched the final play for Georgia Southern. I'm sure you did. But when they ran that little quarterback
It
single
was an
back
incredible
power
call.
It was
incredible.
Awesome. And they ran it a couple times. I will say
quarterback barely knew how to walk.
Their play calling on Georgia Southern side was ridiculous.
Creative too. Like, they did different things to get number 2 in mismatches. Their receiver, that Burgess, that kid's a savage.
Is he an All-American? Because we made him look like an All-American.
Was that Jerry Rice or was that just some Burgess from Georgia Southern?
Maybe it was Megatron from Georgia Tech.
It probably was. Megatron's son or his younger nephew.
Yeah, I don't know, but that guy was incredible. But they would just rip off runs. Oh God, there was another play. But anyway, final play.
We got great tacklers. We'll go on.
Final Georgia Southern play on offense when they scored to go ahead.
Yep.
Awesome play call.
Yeah.
Our defensive line all went right off the ball, head down, short arms. Their offensive line literally had to do nothing.
No,
absolutely nothing.
I could have been the left guard.
We left one of our linebackers unblocked. Or sorry, they left one of our linebackers unblocked.
Correct.
They pulled the right guard around. They blocked the play side backer, left our stud backer unblocked, who completely whiffed on the tackle.
Wait, what'd you call him? Or what?
He was supposed to be our stud. I don't even know who he is. The guy with the big old nose. Completely whiffed. I don't know if the nose got in the way. But
the one, the one with that really big nose.
Yeah.
You wouldn't last very long coaching.
No.
I mean, I love hey, big nose dude, because you're not gonna remember any of their names. You're gonna pick their flaw.
I think he would. I think he would.
You think Matt would remember all their names?
No, I don't. But I'm saying I think he'd find a way, because they'd embrace the big nose comment, because they'd be like, you know what? I'll fight for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Slaw.
And I'd tell him, I said, look, you can play all day. Look how much oxygen you're getting. I mean, you're never going to get tired.
I got to let you know, you're not coming off the field, bro.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yep.
You
every down player.
You're the best breather I've ever seen. Or the potential. Could you imagine his potential is like, if it was on Madden, like his potential breathing is like a 99.
Yeah. So
have you been training in the mountains?
So our defensive line all goes face down, short arms, which just says, please grab me and hold me here on the line, and I'll not be able to move. And the puller just had to pull around and not even really block a guy, just getting a guy's away for a second. And the quarterback just jumped on in there. It took the quarterback diving in the end zone before the defensive line turned around and went, oh, he already passed us. I watched that play 6 times. I'm on the fucking TiVo deal. Just rewind. Like he's in the end zone.
I didn't even know TiVo was still around.
I don't know.
I kind of thought you said Tebow.
Yeah,
I did too.
I was like, Tebow? When was Tebow at our game? SEC game of the week?
Well, we made this guy look like Tebow. I mean, geez. So earlier in the game, when they were up, so I think it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. They were up, and then we got the ball back. Then we went down to score to go up, and whatever. So before that, when they were still up, they had a drive. Do you remember when their coach tried to call a timeout? He was trying to run out the clock a little bit.
Yes.
And he went to the side judge and he said, I want to call a timeout with one second. And the guy called it immediately. Mm-hmm. And he was so furious.
Yeah. Which I would have been irate.
Oh, for sure. So dumb. But it was in that drive. They were just trying to get this drive going. They were just pounding it, and they stopped. And it was like third and 1, and we stopped them.
Yeah.
And the whole team is celebrating like we're the 95 Huskers here stopping Oklahoma on the goal line.
It looked like someone had a boombox out there. And they were like, it was like a dance party.
But I don't know if you got this. As soon as we stopped them, their right guard turned around to their coach and he did this.
Oh, did he really?
He did this, meaning run it again, because we're going to get it. And you know what the coach did?
Ran it again.
He smiled at him. He winked at him. Then he nodded his head. Yes. And he said, let me call a timeout first. And then that timeout fiasco happened.
And then they got the first down on 4th and 1.
But the right guard literally projected to the entire stadium, because I could see it on the TV. He goes, run it again. And the coach literally goes, yes, I'm going to run it again. Timeout. And we're going to run it again. And guess what happened? They got 7 yards.
He almost broke it, actually. He
4th and 1.
Up.
He got 7 yards.
Bro, it's a crazy deal. I don't even. We got a bad football team right now. Someone asked too, like, what would you do if you were to go in right now? I think we already explained what we would do if we went in right now. It's the same exact thing. I'd get my kids playing hard, and it doesn't matter who it is. I would get them playing hard. And
I will say, I'm excited to see Mickey Joseph.
I honestly think we have more of a chance to get wins now. I really do. People are going to be like, oh, come on. I really do.
This guy is a culture setter. And from what I understand about the guy, he doesn't put up with crap. He has made no promises to anybody. He is all about production. Do your job or get on the bench.
Yes, I think he's going to be good. I really do.
Yeah. He is not going to be handling these kids like they're kids. He's going to be coaching them like men, from what I understand about him.
What's the chance this guy gets it? Like, how many wins does he have to rattle off in order to keep the job? Or do you think it's kind of a no chancey?
I think he's screwed just based on who we have left. Because out of our nine games left for him to be retained, I'd say he would probably have to win 6 or 7, and that isn't happening. I will count this successful for him if he can find a way to win three more. It will be, he will still be fired. Well, he'll be replaced, but all things considered, our personnel, the state of our culture in that organization, if he can get three more wins based on who we have left,
and he did a heck of a job.
You can say he did his job.
I think 3 wins would be baller of him. And I hope he gets it. Because I want him to. I think it's a stretch for him to get hired unless he just did something crazy.
Yeah, if he gets 7 out of 9, then yeah, keep him.
Yeah, everyone would keep him. If not, someone else is hiring him. But like,
find a way to finish 8-4.
Who would be your top couple that you're thinking of right now that would that was another question, like who we'd hire, or what would be your dream 1 or 2 guys?
I can't believe that that the Twitter sphere is still blown up about this Urban Meyer thing.
It's not going to happen. Let me say this. If it did happen, whether you like it or not, he's going to win because he knows the.
Yeah, the university has to decide, what do we want? Do we want to win? Do we want to raise good men? Because if you want to win, then go get Urban Meyer. It's just a fact.
Yeah, but
it's not clean.
He didn't do it in Jacksonville.
Is it?
Well, that's the pros.
It's a completely different thing. But like you said, it's not clean, Scott. But is it any dirtier than it is right now?
I know, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, just saying. Nebraska is always going to tell you. Nebraska is always going to tell you because they don't have any control of the state of Nebraska of what they say. Because, but anyway, they're going to say we just want, we want a good guy, right? Like
we're supposed to have a character standard here. Supposed to. It doesn't mean we do, but we're supposed to.
Would you say we have as of?
No, I'm not saying we do. I'm not saying we do. I'm saying we're supposed to have a character standard here.
Okay. I wanted to see where you're at, like what you believe.
And what's
I never said what I believe, but I just want to see
I'm not gonna throw out any stuff. I'm just gonna say we're supposed to have a character standard. And Urban Meyer has too many things that are blatantly known to the entire nation.
But is it
of where his character's at?
But why was he just featured on ESPN during the big show? Because
ESPN doesn't care. ESPN doesn't care.
ESPN's not even a real company.
I forgot.
Or whatever.
They're fake news too. Sorry.
They're almost as fake as the Nebraska media. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're supposed to have this character standard. Urban Meyer would actively go against that. Now, if they went with him,
kind of like what we'd just be kind of doing. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that pick would say we could give 2 shits about character anymore. Character, morals
anymore. I'm just trying to.
I know what you're saying
right now.
I know what you're saying. I'm just trying to avoid lawsuits. Is all I'm trying to do here.
No, I couldn't.
All opinions on this podcast are by us and us only.
Yes, but I just wanted to I couldn't tell what you were thinking. That's why.
Yes, me and you are on the same page.
Okay. Go ahead.
Define character.
It's what you do when no one's looking.
Oh, Pat and we'll put you on the spot.
That's
what you're doing when no one's looking.
That's a 5 million.
Right.
That is what you're told from the time you're 4 years old. Character means what you do.
That's the buyout $1 million question.
Yeah.
The 7.5 million.
And when no one's looking, do you do the right thing or the wrong thing? And character means you always do the right thing regardless of who is watching.
Is it bad that anymore now that if there's a lot of money, like if someone says that's $1 million, it's always going to be that's the buyout $1 million question, just because it's so much money.
I know.
But anyways, yes, I see what you're saying with the whole Irby. If I let me tell you who I would love. I have like 2 or 3 people that I would actually be like, let's go. And not in any particular order. I'm just going to go down the list of who I remember. Matt Campbell. Mm-hmm. He does things the right way. In order to win at Ohio State, you have to have a culture. It's impossible to win there otherwise. So you have something going on. People don't understand this, but a culture, you set a culture it gets people believing in what you do. And Matt Campbell has done that, regardless of what people say. Some people are like, he doesn't have a great record against Iowa. It's like, yeah, he's at Iowa State. It's going to be hard, but he's won more games than you should at Iowa State. So
100%.
he's one of the guys that I would say, and he's done it he did it at Toledo, like borderline, not even a real school. And so Toledo,
that guy is on my list as well.
Okay. So I would love him. I don't know what everyone thinks of this. I would love Bill O'Brien. Everything that he did in New England, and then everything that he did at Penn State. What he did at Penn State is like, they had the death penalty after the whole scandal of the whole, you know what I'm talking about, the whole weird stuff, right? And he went in there and they had the death penalty, scholarships taken away, couldn't play in bowls. And he went in there and won, like right away. And old Coach Franklin, James Franklin, is benefiting from what Bill O'Brien built. He would come in here, from what I would know, and he will give no crap who you are.
Yep.
He does not care. And he's like, all right, the guys that are playing are
the best players. You think Billy O would come here, though?
I do.
Yeah, you do?
For the right amount of money.
Yeah.
And I think he would do an amazing job. I think
that's kind of the tricky question, because we're in such a state right now that's like, yeah, there's a whole list of guys that I would love to get.
But could we get him?
But what's actually attainable?
No, I think it is, because this dude's blue collar as blue collar can be.
But
that's why I like him.
We almost need to be in a position where we'd be an upgrade for somebody else. And
it's almost not an upgrade from being the O coordinator at Alabama. I agree.
Yeah. So
that's taking
a smaller conference coach.
I love that, bro. There's this dude at UTSA, Texas San Antonio, Jeff Traylor. He was a high school coach for 15 years, then went to Texas San Antonio. They were trash bag central. He comes in, wins 6 or 7 his first year, wins 12 his next year. And he was a 15-year head coach in Texas at the high school level. Guarantee he has recruiting ties down there.
I think that's a little bit
more attainable.
Well, yeah, it's more attainable, but it's also a little bit more of a like exploratory hire. You're kind of getting too far out of the box for my liking.
See, but the thing is, I'm okay with exploring after what the heck's happened.
Yeah, I know.
Can't get worse. What are we going to do? Go 3-9?
Yeah, but I'm looking at this guy at North
3-9 might be a good year.
North Dakota State, this Entz guy. You know, to upgrade to a Division 1A FBS Big Ten school, I mean, that might be a thing.
But I mean, going from North Dakota State is a huge jump.
It is.
Whereas Texas San Antonio, at least they're D1A.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, like, we don't have great options.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could get that, another one some people might not like, I love, though, is Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze had a little deal that he went through. His wife and him figured it out, stayed married, like some really like positive things have happened. He goes to Liberty and completely turns them around. Liberty. Complete, like, I mean, not turn, but like he's playing and competing. Like, I can take that. I can take that because he has an offense.
Another thing we can start thinking about with the addition of USC and Texas and Oklahoma and isn't UCLA coming too?
I think so.
Pretty much we can start poaching coaches from
Or
the Big 12
the
and the
Pac-10.
Pac-12
Yeah, whatever, Pac-12.
because those conferences aren't going to exist anymore.
They're not real conferences.
Yeah. The
They're
only
like the
reason
Sun Belt. Oh, wait, they're pretty real.
So we can start looking at like this K-State coach.
Yeah.
You know, that's a thing.
He's not a terrible because he was at North Dakota State.
Yeah, and he's doing well over there.
Kansas State they don't ever hurt them. They always just play better than they are.
In their blue collar. We need a blue collar dude that comes in and says, "Hey, we're gonna work."
What about Gruden?
Don't get me excited. Bro, I've never thought about that.
He's disappeared for a while. You know, he wants to coach again. I think there was interest one time in the last, maybe before Riley or when he was out and he was working for that fake news channel. I don't know what he's doing, but that's who popped up in my head. That would be somebody that I think the fan base would be like, yes, we're in. Gruden probably doesn't F around either.
No,
he doesn't.
And
right. He's blue collar.
He could get any talent that he wanted.
He could.
Well, the thing about Gruden is him and Callahan are the exact same person. So recruiting is going to be sick. Play calling is going to be sick. Culture is going to be sick.
And the thing is, Gruden's been a head coach much more than Callahan. So it's like a great Callahan head coach.
Yeah. Gruden trained Callahan. I mean,
I'll tell you what, Gruden might be shooting for the stars, but I'll shoot for those stars.
Yeah.
He's already got paid. He already got paid though. $100 million.
That is the problem, is he doesn't need this job. I don't know how hungry he'd be to deal with.
I think he's got an ego. I think he can't. I think
he
doesn't. I
ego.
don't think he can end the way it ended.
How sick would that be?
I don't think the NFL will let him back in, but he could come to Nebraska, and if he could get it and just compete, he could be the GOAT. Like he could literally be the next Saban if he did it right.
I said this last year, Mark Stoops would be pretty sick.
No chance he leaves Kentucky though now.
He just won the winningest coach there or something.
Yeah.
He's done he has really done a great job there.
Kentucky won't lose him.
No.
But it'd be worth a run at him because he can get into the Big Ten.
Bro, anyone's worth a run.
The Big Ten and the SEC.
20 million.
This is what's going to happen to college football. We could offer Saban 20 million. I mean, we're just throwing around an extra 7.5 buyout over 20 days. Yeah.
Well, per the media here, Belichick's going to be blown out after the next game. He might be available.
Is that what they're trying to say right now?
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're clown shows is what they are.
Yeah, it's real. It's a little different media than it is in Nebraska.
Yeah, it's actually real.
Well, let's talk
I'm saying like they actually
ramifications of Oklahoma and Texas leaving the Big 12 and USC and UCLA.
That's why I think Matt Campbell might have a chance of coming.
This is what's going to happen. College football is about to turn into the NFL, and with NIL, it kind of already is. But as far as how they divvy up the conferences, it'll be the Big Ten and the SEC are the only real conferences.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Which
if not one, if not end up to one.
Well, like the NFC and the AFC and the NFL,
right.
And then they'll just split them up into
that's true
into divisions. It'll be the Big Ten, North, West, Southeast, and the SEC North,
like
West, Southeast.
20 some teams.
Yeah.
And everybody that's outside of those conferences never has a shot.
Which I hate, but that's
everybody else is going to be the Boise State of old, where they're going to be undefeated 5 years in a row and never have a shot. So it's what it's going to be. And so we can start poaching these other coaches that are doing really well in the Pac-12 and, the Big 12 and ACC and WAC and Sun Belt, wherever we want to go outside of the SEC and the Big Ten, we can go find anybody else and say, hey, do you want to play in the show or not?
I mean, it's true.
So, yeah.
I don't know. Hire Deion Sanders. That'd be nails.
Dude, is he just like putting on a show? Like he's just building his brand like no other.
Bro, have you seen all the players he's gotten?
Yeah.
And they're blowing people out now because players are the number one recruit in the nation went there.
Yeah.
And as Jackson State, it's an FCS school. The number one player in the nation went there.
Yeah.
If Deion the thing is Deion would take it. It's just he'd probably leave here in like 2 years.
I think he wants Florida. I think his goal is to be at Florida State. I think
Mike Norvell, I think might be changing it.
I know he did. They played pretty tough the first game, whatever game they played.
Bro, I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I think LSU is pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we just need to find someone that's a coach. Like, there's got to be someone in the world.
Well, let's hope Mickey Joseph just freaking rips it off and we can roll with him.
You guys know what the points are this weekend?
I don't know. I'd probably take Okie.
What, 20?
I actually am leaning Nebraska because when you get rid of the cancer,
there's going to be motivation, and I have a feeling people are going to play for them, and kids are going to play for. It's like
they're going to play hard.
They're going to play for their jobs.
That's exactly it. The points are only 14.5. And to me,
I still take Oklahoma.
I'd take Okie.
But I'm like, look, Vegas isn't in the business of giving away money. How could anybody bet Nebraska right now at 14.5?
I mean, how did they bet?
Maybe they'll get to 20
against Georgia Southern. How'd they bet Nebraska, Georgia Southern? I knew
14.
Looking at the
Nebraska's
stats,
they're bad defense, but I just think I'm just playing that they're going to play for their jobs. That's all I'm thinking.
They are, but I think they have a better.
This is where I'm at.
Indiana.
This is where I'm at. So on defense, right? Our defense is the worst defense on
terrible
recorded history.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we have played nobody yet. And we're about to have a top 10 team coming into town. Okay. So they're going to be able to score at will. And I know what our offense did as far as stats wise last week. You know, people are like, oh, our offense is doing good.
It's going to be weird playing real people.
We haven't played anybody yet. Our tackles are about to see real defensive ends.
It doesn't matter if we have
tackles,
skill players or not. We're playing actual humans on the other side.
Yes. We have played Northwestern, North Dakota, and Georgia Southern. And now we're about to face number 7 ranked Oklahoma.
With a grinder coach.
So I don't like 14.5. If the spread was,
I'd just stay away from that game, Scotty.
If the spread was 25, then I could see an argument.
Or even 21.
I don't know.
It could be a backdoor cover where Oklahoma's up like 35-0 and they put all their scrubs in.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the points they're going to move from 14.5. They got to get up to 20 eventually.
That's what I'm saying. I would not take it at 14.
It's super low. They're just begging you to bet Oklahoma, though. That's all I know. Begging. They would have been 14.5 with. They probably would have been higher if Scott was here. I don't know.
This is not going to be a popular opinion, but we were very close to being 0-3 with still facing nobody. So
14.5 as an 0-3 team. I agree. I didn't think about that, Slaw.
I mean,
I don't care if freaking The Rock was your coach for this game.
We got our dicks beat by North Dakota for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
Not a good, like,
at home. And then you're at a night game in Nebraska, which we all know what that's like.
Yeah.
And that didn't really when you just don't have when you don't have good players and good leadership,
right.
It's just the problem. And there's I'm not saying they're not good players. I'm not trying to be mean.
They're kind of
the leadership side of
That's
things.
fair.
I have a feeling is about to get handled very quickly.
I do
very
too.
quickly.
And I think Mickey Joseph's going to go in there and say, "Hey, defense, Stop throwing up the bones when they get a 5-yard gain on you.
Oh my gosh, I was so tired of that.
This is something that pissed me off really bad, and I said it last week. I'll say it again. When you are playing for a coach that you don't believe in, you still go play.
I know
you play like your life depends on it, because it does. Your career depends on it. Your family depends on it.
Well, if you want to play in the league,
your girlfriend, fiance, your wife, whoever, they depend on it.
Your dog.
Fuck, you have a dog. They depend on it.
Right.
You go play regardless of who the coach is. Now, Mickey's going to get
if you're into hamsters, you're
shit switched. But what I'm looking at is going, maybe we just aren't capable of playing.
That is also
there's that.
I think our receiving core is deeper this year. They still are having trouble catching a damn ball.
I do too, but I'm not sure how it's going to be when we play against real cornerbacks. That's what I'm waiting to see.
Yes.
And a real defensive minded
when you play against really bad people, you look faster and you look better. So I think they do, but I'm not sure. I just don't know what to gauge.
I don't think Casey Thompson is bad. I don't think
he's bad.
Our receivers, they're not bad. Grant is not bad. But
our O-line,
when you got a offensive line like this that we got, primarily the tackles, okay? The inside three are doing okay in protection. In the running game, it's gross. But in protection, the inside three are doing okay.
I honestly thought firing the O-line coach was going to solve everything.
Oh, gosh.
Exaggeration.
Yeah.
Oh, before we end this, and we have not discussed this at all.
Go ahead.
Did I see some fire thrown on Danny's Twitter the other day after the game?
Oh, yeah. Old Compton.
Your old buddy Will.
Did you see what I said? How funny was that?
Yeah.
Let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride. I was like, let's go.
Did you not love it?
You said something, and he came back with, "Oh, I didn't peg you for a hater."
Yeah,
and it's like, first of all, I wouldn't be classified as a hater because I want us to win.
No, you're a truth teller, is what you are.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yes, but I mean, those bussing with the dogs or whatever it was, their podcast.
Never listened to one episode.
No.
Yeah, bussing with the guys.
No. Yeah.
No, if
Tyler
Lewan wasn't on there, I might listen to one, but
road tripping with the dogs or something.
I don't know.
I guess they don't keep it real.
No.
No.
They might have the Barstool following. So I get it. They have listeners. They have much more listeners than us. But maybe that's what we got to start doing if we want, and it will never happen. But go out and just make up stuff.
Our guy Dallin came at him hard.
Oh, he did?
Dallin Yo, if you don't follow him, he does everything for like our social pages. Maybe one of the all-time greatest tweets I've ever seen.
I didn't see it. What did he come at him with?
So do you follow Will Compton?
No.
Oh,
okay. So let me set the table. Okay. So Will was a good dude back in the day, and worked his tail off.
He still might be a great dude. I haven't talked to him for a while. I don't.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
He was a good dude, and then he I don't know, whatever. So he's
throwing fire.
So he loves to come back at people who tweet at him, because he's got this whole persona of playoff Willie.
Of the bar, in the bars.
Playoff Willie, talking about how he's always available to whatever team needs him to come in for playoffs and play and this and that. And there's a lot of douchebags out there that tweet at him and tell him how garbage he is and that he doesn't deserve to be in the NFL. And so every time he gets one of these, he does these string of videos where he takes his phone and he goes and locks it up in his kid's car seat. And he's like, being a dad, he's like, hey, bud, come over here. Let me talk talk to you. And he buckles him into his kid's car seat. He's like, hey, shut the fuck up. And so Dallin came back with
it was the funniest thing in history.
He walked his phone out to his car and he buckled it in the seat. And he goes, hey, bud. And I don't know what he said, but I was just hoping he was going to say, shut the fuck up. And
No,
he didn't.
he did that. He goes, hey, buddy, like, it's okay. Like, he goes, you and Danny are the same. He goes, you both have the same opinion, but it's okay. And he like buckles him up.
Oh my God, I gotta find it,
bro.
Yeah.
I think
he takes the seat belt and he pulls it across the screen and clicks it in. He's like, okay, bud.
It was one of the.
Did Will come back at him?
No. That one would be hard to come back at.
Yeah, because he's got nothing now. He used his own fire against him.
Oh, yo, you go kill it.
Yep, love it.
It was funny, but the whole thing is Will did a kind of like Russell Wilson did the most awkward thing. Broncos Nation, let's ride. And he kept saying that. Well, Will did one that said, Husker Nation, let's ride. And he kept doing it. And then he posted the score 45-42.
Hats off to the other team.
Yes.
Weirdest thing ever.
And I quote tweeted and just said,
I saw it.
Let's ride.
I loved it. I didn't realize that I didn't know the whole backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, let's ride. And he got a little sensitive.
Yeah.
Will's a good guy, but he got a little sensitive. And I just said, hey man, like I thought like you're supposed to be funny guy, like always making jokes, because that's what their podcast is just joking.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought you needed to do a good little laugh, because I'll tell you what, it was funny. When I said let's ride,
it
was funny.
Yeah.
So here's a little lesson for you. Will, come over here, bud. Come over here, bud.
You get him a seatbelt.
Yeah. Let me learn you a little lesson here. Don't come at our guy Danny, okay? Just
I'm as nice as they come. If you think
because
I know, we all know
our followers are better.
We may not have as many. I'll tell you what, but the loyalty
strong.
They're quite strong.
Yeah. So
love it. And I'll tell you what, don't mess with us, because our boy Dallin goes hard.
Dallin ain't afraid. With a name like Dallin, watch out. Watch out.
Dallin, one of the best names I've heard for a guy that could run the social media for a podcast.